Welcome to Sunday Stock Talk, ladies and gentlemen, on July 1st. It's 1:16 p.m. Eastern Time. Can you guys believe it? It is already July. But thank you for joining me here, and thanks for bearing with me with all the audio and video issues that we've had earlier. I'm back in my normal setup, as you guys can see, and this hopefully is better. This microphone is going well, this video is going well, and we're going to be taking a look at your tickers. I've read through every single comment, so I want to look at your tickers, commodities, and of course we look at market movement. So let's start with market movement, the general market track, looking at SPY or SPY on the 180-day chart, and we do technical analysis on these graphs, right? So here we are. We have a support at 270.83 to 271, around that general area, but we have to look at it based off of objective information that the markets told us, right? So the markets told us that we broke under the support, but we managed to kind of recover back to the blue line or the 50 SMA line. So the question is, what's the market saying? Well, one is, all I'm seeing right now is that we're still on a downtrend, okay? And here's why. Even though we had an update on Friday, you guys can see that the Dow Jones pulled around 55 points higher, the NASDAQ went a little bit higher as well. You can see that the 50-period moving average has been acting as a resistance here. It's acting as a resistance here, and you guys can see that sell-off on that last hour if you guys were looking at the markets during that time. And since we broke under this support, usually that means there's another continuation leg lower to the next support down here. Okay, so the question is, Kevin, why is this the support? Why can't you say that, why isn't this the support right here? So the thing is, yes, the market did trade down here, but you can see that rejections at the 20 EMA, which is the light blue line, and the 50 SMA right here has been steady, and it has been doing this for the last few weeks. You guys can see this downtrend, right? The last few weeks. So what are we looking for in the near future? At the very least, I'm looking for, we're already at the support, right? I'm looking for it to come down again because we got rejected at the 50 SMA. I'm looking for it to come down to 269, and if that one fails, if we manage to close, below this area, especially 268, the possibility to 266 is great, which is the next support. And note that on the 1-year chart, I want to show you guys why this is so important, is because looking at this chart, you guys can see that this is the last line of defense. This is where I expect the markets to push higher, reverse, and this is a very strong support. The red line, or the 200 SMA line, coincides with this major support line. That's the major bullish nature of the markets, right? So this is the major bullish, and if we close below that, expect lower prices to come, significantly lower prices. So if we manage to close below this line on a daily basis, we're expecting lower prices to come. But looking at this, we see another kind of tail candle showing another kind of rejection at the 20 EMA line. Look at this. We're on the 1-year chart. Rejection here, and it looks like to me that we are on the way down. Now the question is, what if that prediction is incorrect, right? Because nothing goes 100%, as we know. And what if that is incorrect? What if the most probable scenario as of 1:19 p.m. Eastern Time Sunday isn't correct? What would happen? Okay, so here's the other scenario, and this is the less likely scenario to play out, and it's we manage to continue higher. Okay, if we go higher, and on a daily basis we close over the 274.20 mark. If we can close above the 274.20 or the resistance mark, that is a sign that we have had a reversal. But that is hard to see given what we've seen yesterday or Friday and last week. So that's what we're looking for, of course. And this is why I don't completely rely on MACD. I don't completely rely on other indicators. And so, yeah, that's it. Oh, and one thing to note is I do have a course in development. It's been in development for a while, but I'm looking to release the Facebook group, at least a Facebook page group, within this week. So be on the lookout for that. I'm still kind of working on it. It's just things have been hectic, moving around everywhere. So, all right, let's take a look at TVIX, or volatility. So you guys know, if you guys are returning to my channel, you guys know I go by SPY, then TVIX, which is volatility. Because the reason why I like to do TVIX is I see a lot of people trading UVXY and TVIX, which tracks volatility. And, it's for good reason, because we've had this, 1 year, 3 years. You guys can see, actually, let me just pull the 3-year chart, that the volatility, you can't even really see it. Let's just pull the 1-year chart. That volatility has been steadily declining. You guys can see here's the last year. It's been steadily declining, and all of a sudden we have some volatility spikes starting this year. So if people wanted to trade volatility, I think it's, I think it's good, because we need a change when the markets change. Our mindsets need to change when the markets kind of change. So here's volatility right now. We've seen that it broke below the 20 EMA line. We're kind of getting rejected the 20 EMA. Managed to push to the 20 EMA line, $52.77. So if markets continue to go down, as I expect, I do expect volatility to continue pushing higher in that case. So there could be higher prices for volatility to come. And just note that, volatility doesn't really obey a significant support resistance lines. One can get an idea of where volatility could go based off of SPY movement, and sometimes volatility doesn't want to go drop down because markets know that there's a resistance. So this is just taken with a grain of salt that I expect another continuation move to the upside for volatility. So that's what I'm looking for. Let's take a look at /CL tracking crude oil futures. Crude oil futures, the story really has not changed from what we've talked about every single day since the OPEC meeting, right? Crude oil has been bullish and will continue to be bullish, in my opinion, until we get to $76.50. Once we near that area, the area of risk is going to be massive, because at that point, we're looking for a reversal on crude oil. But until then, we're at 74.25. We're now around $2 away from the major resistance area, the 10-year resistance. And once that occurs, once we see that confirmation of that reversal, I am going to the ticker. Which ticker, you guys? DWT, right? So DWT is the ticker that follows inverse crude oil. UWT is the one that we have to be pro right now, right? Because UWT is what? Crude oil bull, right? So we want to go into UWT right now, and I actually did take a position on Friday in UWT, even though we're a little bit late to the party, but there's still $1 to $2 left before your risk, or my risk, becomes really great. So there's crude oil right now, and then we'll just take a look at UWT then for you guys. So here's UWT, pretty much following the same trajectory as crude oil. So expect resistance at the 10-year mark. So look at the 10-year. Well, here's 10-year, but you guys can see that this was only 2016, right? So yeah. All right. In the meantime, let's take a look at GUSH and SPSIOP. So here's GUSH, right? GUSH kind of follows crude oil as well. Follows oil and gas exploration, and you guys can see this consolidation pattern. All of a sudden we broke out. Remember what I told you guys about DRIP and GUSH? DRIP is the inverse of GUSH. I said that don't go into DRIP over here, because look at this ascending triangle pattern, and this ascending triangle pattern based off of crude oil's trajectory was going to be a breakout trajectory. So here's GUSH. We're at 40.61. It is, I agree, it is having a hard time pushing above this level. You guys can see that this level, which is the gap down level here, has been a significant resistance. This gap area has been a significant resistance, and every time we pulled up, we managed to pull a massive tail candle, and it looks like it wants to trend lower. So that is just something to keep in mind. I don't have any positions in GUSH or DRIP right now, just because of these candles. I want to go into GUSH, but these candles does not tell me that GUSH wants to stay or wants to continue move higher, at least not right now. So this is something I will be monitoring for a new pattern since we broke above this ascending triangle. Look at /NG, tracking natural gas. Natural gas, you guys know this pattern, right? You guys know this left and right, hands down, that we've had this pattern. So one thing to note is, here's natural gas on the 1-year chart. Resistance, 2.984. Support, 2.892. And we can play UGAZ because of this trend, right? So UGAZ continues to be a great play. Why is that? I'm actually going to remove this ascending triangle because we broke under it. So every time we come down here, we get into UGAZ. Every time we get up here, we get out of UGAZ. Don't be greedy here. Don't be too afraid here, right? And this is kind of reverse psychology because people are like, oh, it's up here. There's a continuation to move to the upside, right? No, right? So this is why we go by technicals here. Just trade right here and get out right here. This is pretty simple trade, but you can imagine it's hard for a lot of people because you know, this kind of trend is people get nervous when you get down here. People get too excited when you get up here, but you got to just control your emotions and buy here, sell here. That's UGAZ. So predictable pattern. Some of you guys played this 2 or 3 times. Great job. Okay. What's this one? GC, right? /GC tracking gold futures. We said that there was a support at 1248. Guys, these lines are here, have been here, has not changed. I only add lines when we start nearing the support. So like right here, when we're nearing the support, then I add another support line showing that, okay, this is where it could fall. And seriously, like, look, there's a support line, we managed to climb up a little bit, right? Here's a support line, we managed to climb up a little bit. So these are areas where, you know, these are support lines, and these support lines do work, ironically. So this is why I like technical analysis, because patterns, charts just obey some of these technicals, and I like seeing these patterns. Hopefully you guys like it too. So JNUG went up 4.44% today. So JNUG follows /GC. JNUG followed every opportunity. For every opportunity, /GC kind of goes up a little. JNUG's going to grasp it and go up a lot. So you guys can see that JNUG did go up 4.44% to pretty much almost the previous resistance area around $13.90. Didn't completely hit it, but we do see JNUG on a descending trajectory, right? You guys can see this descending trajectory, and we do not want to go into JNUG. I can almost argue that JDST has to be a good play right now. JDST, which is inverse gold. All right. Let's take a look at a couple of tickers you guys talked about. So the Giants Rico ACIA stock is breaking out this week. Let's take a look at ACIA. Take a look at the 1-year chart. Okay, so are you sure ACIA is breaking close by 40? Whoa. Okay, so one thing to note is it has been on a continuous uptrend, but where is the resistance? I'm going to draw a box in where the resistance is. You guys ready? Do you guys know where the box is? So for those of you who will take my course, you guys definitely will know where the box is. The resistance is right here, right? Right here is the resistance, and actually, this is the strongest resistance area, 3530 to 3650. We are really close to that resistance. If you say that we're managing to break over it, or even break over this gap down area, right, to 3850, this is the most important resistance. If we can close above here, we're looking for another resistance at 3930. But because of these major, massive resistance areas right here coming up, in my opinion, the risk is just too great. Looking at the 3-year chart, weekly chart, what do you see? We've had a hard time breaking the 20 EMA line. When we do break it, the 50 SMA line has been acting as a resistance. Here's the 50 SMA. Sure, there's a little upside to go, but really, is there that much upside to this one? It is really hard to say, and therefore, I would not take a position in this one right now, given that it's still on a downtrend, right? Why is it on a downtrend? We still see the light blue line pointing downwards, the blue line pointing downwards. All right. ADBE Rizwan. I took a position on Adobe, ticker ADBE. Yeah, Adobe has been a very nice trend. So just one thing to note is what things that go up, chances are at some time it's going to go down. Of course, it's going up still right now. So I do like it. You guys can see that the 50 SMA line on the 1-year chart has been acting as a support once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 7th time. So you could take a position right here, perfectly fine, as we write it up forward, upwards. Great job, Rizwan. I like it. Just be on the lookout, though, right? Like I said, what goes up needs to come down and rest. And this one has been going up for a while, Adobe. So just be on the lookout for that. Make sure you do have a stop loss. All right, VEN. Oh, Ven. Hey, Ven. BVN bottom yet. So obviously there is no bottom on this one. You guys can see this, ridiculous decline right now. Let me just take a look at this. Is the where chart is this? This is the 1-year. Let's take a look at the 3-year chart. Yeah, so there's no bottom on this one, right? There's really no bottom. You guys can see that the 200 SMA line is all the way at 1124. there is $2 left to go for this one. And because this is actively declining on the 180-day chart, the 1-year chart, you guys can see this active decline. Sure, it could get back to the 20 EMA or the light blue line and get back to around $14, but at that time you can see a massive rejection on its way down. So there's really no sign of reversal right now, and I would not actively participate in this one as a long position. Okay, Roland, LABU. Roland. So LABU is one that I've been kind of curious about too, given its massive drop so far. But you can imagine if markets do continue going a little lower, LABU is probably going to go a little lower as well. So you can, right here, you can see that LABU did pull this nice tail candle right here, but we got rejected at the 20 EMA again, the light blue line. So right now, this is a hard one. I like this tail candle, but at the same time, this rejection is just not definitive. At the very least, I would look for a double bottom on this one. So if we get another push to the 20 SMA line and get right down to $85 to $90 around that area, and then we manage to recover, that's my entry position to LABU. So a good call out, but I think just wait a little longer. If you have a little more patience, that'd be great. Coolio, day in the life of Kevin at 1,000 subs. Yeah, I hope I get to 1,000 subs. That'd be awesome, and I am very excited. This channel has been progressing, expanding very quickly. So thanks for everyone who've been tuning into, and you guys are what makes these videos possible. So I appreciate everyone who watches. K9, thanks so much for waste management. If you can do RTN, or is this a defense stock? So RTN, right? Again, this is something where it's a descending pattern in the near term. There is really does not have to be any stop to this. We can see that there is a semi-support around this area right here. There's a support around this area, which we're kind of at right now. But at the same time, this is not a very strong support. We're looking at the 1-year chart. Let's just take a look at the 3-year chart. Right, this is on a pattern of active decline. We don't see consolidation yet. At the very least, given this massive drop, I need to see consolidation plus an upward move to above the 20 EMA line. Right now, it's on a downtrend. No information telling us a reversal, and therefore not something we should actively invest in. I can remind me this ticker in 2 to 3 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks. You know, I'll be happy to look at it again, but until then, not this week at least. All right. That's it for this video. Thank you for everyone. I hope I've covered every single ticker. This is a Sunday Stock Talk. Unfortunately, there's no more live streams because I will be busy in the next few months, but there will be Stock Talks, right? It might be later than usual, so it's going to be back to this, might be late night Stock Talks. So I hope you guys do enjoy these Stock Talks for the month of June last month and those live streams. And it was incredibly entertaining, and I did see a lot of people come in and chat with me and talk about stocks, and you get your positions and stuff. It was very exciting, so hopefully we get to do that in the future as well. So until then, thank you everyone for visiting this video, and I will see you guys Monday tomorrow for yet another Stock Talk.